Welcome to the Tim Heale podcast. Thursday live stream. Here we are again, another Thursday, another live stream. Now, this one, I've got a few guests coming in. Oh, we need to stop a few things. I've got things going all over the place here. I've kind of stitched myself up there slightly. I've left some of the audio on the monitors, but we'll show you all that a bit later. So, without too much of ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce my guests. So we've got Jonathan. Good evening,
Hey,
Jonathan. How are you?
doing very well. Thanks for having me on.
No, you're absolutely welcome. We're going to have some fun this evening, and I'm
Looking
sure
forward to
you're
it.
going to supply some of it.
We'll see what happens.
And we've got Jennifer. Evening, Jennifer.
Hello.
How are
Hello.
you?
I'm great, Tim. How you doing?
Yeah, we're struggling away. We're buckling under the pressure of it all.
Oh,
But here we are. We're on another Thursday, so we'll see where this all takes us. So, and then we've also got Frank. Evening,
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, we're doing okay. I've got a coffee in my hand, so I'm pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I got one just
So,
out of reach too.
yeah, I haven't got a clue how we're going to do this evening or what we're going to do this evening. We'll just see where it takes us. It should be quite a giggle, if nothing else. Hang
that's
on.
the fun part.
Just need to. Why is that not started? There's something not going right here. Already we have got things not going right.
Everybody thinks, oh, this will be easy. We'll just do it
Yeah.
live. Good luck.
Yeah. So anyway, worry about that later. So let's just do a quick introduction because lots of people haven't seen us all before. I think most people know who I am. I am your host for the evening, and I'm something of a. I think I'm a comedian, maybe, possibly. Well, maybe it's funny. Maybe it's official that I'm funny. Anyway, so Jonathan, tell us
Yeah.
a little about yourself.
Well, I guess the best place to start is I'm the founder of a consulting company that owns a couple other companies that all focus on helping businesses connect with audiences at trade shows and conferences and galas and awards banquets, sales events, that kind of a thing. And my background is as a performer specializing in a certain flavor called mentalism, which is kind of a mind reading show. So yeah, to the comedian point, a lot of people go, oh, you're a comedian. No. For a mind reader, I'm hilarious. As a comedian, I'm just awful. So please never, ever say that there's going to be a comedian here because it will be the wrong thing. Communication matters.
Absolutely. So, Jen.
Jen,
Jennifer.
that's me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am a visibility strategist, and I have a few podcasts that are lead generators, and they're all run by one entity called Visibility Pod, because frankly, I needed help organizing them. And when I started helping other people produce their podcasts and increase their visibility, I needed one place for everything to go. And that was Visibility Pod. And they now manage all the guesting and the hosting and all of the bookings and all that fun stuff. And I show up.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Let everybody else do the work and you just waddle in and say, well, it's happened.
Well, at least there's one place to go and look for everything so that it's not scattered in 5 different podcast email accounts and all of that fun stuff. Organization's a big time saver.
Absolutely. I haven't worked that one out yet. But
you need help.
Slowly.
If only we knew somebody.
Yeah. Well, I do.
You do.
We have to have a conversation.
Yeah. So thanks for having me.
No, you're absolutely welcome. And Frank, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a retired guy that's got a passion for genealogy, so that's where I'm going.
Wicked.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of time. It's time consuming and it's interesting and it's really interesting. Sometimes you can find out a lot of stuff.
And do you know how you managed to do some work?
Some work? I don't work. I retired.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
I'm also retired, but I'm
yeah.
not quite sure how I actually had time to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that seems to be my thing. I some days I wonder just how much I got done, and I look back and say, "Geez, not very much."
Because
So
I dived into the old genealogy
yeah.
piece. I started off with ancestry, and
Yeah.
I
Likewise.
started delving into the family history and all the rest of it. And
Yeah.
we were entering lockdown, and I came across my great grandfather, who lived just across the harbour from where I live now in Portsmouth, and he was a chief stoker in the Royal Navy. And I was thinking to myself, God, it'd have been brilliant to go back and have a chat with him, because I'm a bit of a military type myself, you know.
Yeah. For sure.
And with the lack of a time machine,
Yeah.
I couldn't go and do it.
No kidding.
Originally,
Yeah. Yeah. Strange you say that. I've run a family. One of my family back on my mom's side, and we have a Heale in our family that's connected out of Devon.
mm,
Yeah, Sir Thomas Heale.
ah,
Yeah,
might be related then.
well, there's a good chance or he was a sheriff in his time.
Now I think
Of
we're all rogues, actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he kept the law and order, I guess, or collected the taxes, one or the other, or
Ah,
both. Yeah.
or both, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting how when you get looking, you find people's names that come up, eh?
Yeah, and I guess their story is kind of lost, because I mean we haven't got time machines yet, so we can't go back and have a parlay with them.
No, no, we have to rely on the written word, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
and
not
that's what
quite
I
the
want to
same.
do. I want to make sure I don't lose what little I know. I don't
Mm,
want to lose it because I'm kicking my pants. I never got after my grandfather or my grandmother or anybody like that. Eh? When I had the opportunity, but I didn't have the desire to even want to be bothered knowing.
yeah, it's like your grandkids nowadays, isn't it? They're not bothered what
They're
granddad
not,
did
yeah, I
in the
mentioned that. And
war.
they say, "What's that?" Yeah, they
It's
don't have
not until
no.
you're gone that they decide, oh, but I wish I'd have spoke to him about it, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel fortunate that I did that with my grandpa that I grew up around. And he was in World War II under General Patton. He was in um, oh, the word just escaped me, artillery. There it is.
yeah,
Oh, a drop
And
short.
yeah, so he shared a lot of stories with me. And growing up, he didn't talk about it. And that was one thing that my dad was going, how? Because he'd never talked about it my entire childhood. And it was because grandpa was saying, people are saying that this stuff didn't happen. So I now have to share the story of everything that he saw.
yeah.
And yeah, so he was in the military. My dad was in the military. My brother was in the military. I read minds for a living. I somehow I missed the gene. So I have a strong appreciation for, but zero enthusiasm for being in it myself.
Yeah, yeah.
It does have its moments.
But
Trust
mind
me.
reading would definitely be an asset for the military if it ever comes around.
Yeah, if what I did on stage were real, I would be a lot more useful. That is for sure. Yeah.
So I have a grandfather on my dad's side who was in World War II. He was a police officer or whatever they called them, and Provo cop, I think is how he put it. And he was actually medically discharged very young. And on my grandmother's side, her sister, so it would be my great aunt, married a gentleman, so he'd end up being my great uncle. He's extremely decorated in the military, and that doesn't actually talk a lot about it at all. It's not something. But Frank did some some research on him and found out more than most of the family knows. So it was quite interesting in his recent birthday to say, "Hey, we did some digging on you." She said, "Yeah, you just keep that right in the envelope, okay?" So
Yeah, it's fascinating what you can dig up on particularly on Ancestry. There's so much material on there that I found that the most difficult part with Ancestry is weeding out the right ancestor, because you can kind of get it kind of wrong. You can think that somebody's related and they're not. So it's just checking and then double checking and then cross-referencing, and then you've got other people that are coming in from a different end, that are related but on a different side of the family and coming down a different tree line, and that's where Ancestry really starts coming into its own, where you're able to see what other people have been looking at on a different, slightly different branch of the family. So my grandfather, my great grandfather, and my great grandfather, they all came from around where I live now, around the Portsmouth area. So I was able to sort of trace them back, and then I traced my grandfather's brothers along that line, and I came across another part of the family that they moved north. So so I was able to contact one of the great grandchildren, who's the next generation down from me, but along the line. So that was quite interesting. We had a chat and one thing and another. So we're able to piece together a little bit more of the puzzle
yeah.
of the family. So
have you? I'm just curious. Have you ever heard of any stories about the DNA tests, and then people finding out they've got relatives that shouldn't be there if their family story was correct?
Yeah. Yes,
Right, we've talked a lot about this, eh?
Yeah.
It happened to my mom.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Both her parents are no longer with us, so we can kind of talk about it. My mom has a whole other side of the family of cousins, because she and her mom thought that her mom was an only child, but it turns out that she was raised by a different family than the guy that helped make her, and that was a whole scandal, and that grandma's parents raised her, didn't breathe a word about it at all, but the DNA is like, no, this is your cousin. So
Yeah.
after my grandma dies, my mom finds out this whole thing about the family history, that the family's history isn't our bloodline. It's completely different. Oh, the wonders of modern science, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Surprises back there.
I
They
located
tell the stories.
I located two separate cousins through DNA that they didn't know they were connected at all. Yeah.
Wow.
Two full families, and they had the same name, but they didn't know the connection. So I worked and worked. It took me a while, because it ended up her great grandfather and my great grandfather had the same name, William, and their wives had the first same name. So it was really, I mean, I had myself going around in circles until I just, the dates didn't line up, eh? And then I went back looking, and I found the trail that led her to my cousin, as a cousin. Yeah, it was quite a discovery, actually. You know, I had the good fortune to meet her. She lives right in the same city as me, so I just phoned her up one day and said, "I'm your cousin." She's like, yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah,
amazing.
we had quite the discussion. I met with her 2 or 3 times, and we really expanded on the family. I was able to tell her stuff she didn't even know. Just that I got off Ancestry, eh?
Yeah. Well, I did the old DNA test.
And it was a
got-
DNA test, and I said, even though we couldn't find the link at first, DNA says we're related, so we have to be related. There just has to be a link somewhere. So,
well, mine was quite surprising because it came back. I was 51% English, which I kind of knew anyway.
yeah,
But the bit that surprised me was that there's about 30. I think it was about 37% Scottish.
Oh boy.
right, yeah.
You got
Yeah.
a war within there, Tim?
Yeah, I know I don't mind wearing the odd skirt now and then. I've got a kilt in a cupboard that I drag out once a year for Burns night, but I can't find where the links are for the Scottish side of the family. So they're there somewhere.
And
then
close.
I had 9% Norwegian, 5% Swedish, and 1% Mick, Irish.
Oh.
They couldn't make it up. so I can kind of see where the Viking comes from, because I mean a lot of the family come from sort of the east and south of England, but where the Scottish comes from, I'm not quite sure. I can kind of identify where the Irish comes from because of my great grandmother. Her father was born in Antrim, County Antrim in Northern Ireland, but it's only a small, I mean, 1% Irish. So I think that's where the Scottish must have come from. They must have gone across to Ireland. So we're still digging into that one.
Yeah.
So much fun. It's just amazing what comes out of it. Frank's stories have been fascinating. Like and I'm going, yeah, it's only as true as until you get the DNA there. Like the story's only as true as the person telling it, eh? So.
Yeah. And my mother's taken the DNA test as well. And it's confirmed that I am her sibling.
Oh, good. No, just a second. That didn't sound right. Your mother is not your sibling.
I'm not a sibling. What am I talking about? Talking rubbish now, aren't I? No, I'm her child.
Yeah.
So she can't deny that she didn't have me. I know she wanted to a few times.
You're not mine. Whose child are you?
Try to get rid of me when I was a kid. Keep threatening to send me to Borstal. But
well, I know without a doubt that I'm a third generation Albertan, so that's my genealogy goes to Grandpa did a great big family tree, and he's got every sister and every extra sister, and his dad was somewhat of a womanizer, so there's so much like he's got more than one family. And so, but as far as everything goes, like it got really calm about the time he was born, and then his son, and then me as the daughter of his son, and then my daughter. It's like we're all 4 generations of Albertans then, because my grandfather, my father, me, and my daughter.
All grown up in and around Calgary?
Well, 3. Okay, so it would be 2 generations of Calgarians, because both my child and I were born in Calgary. So, yeah.
With chaps and spurs on?
Oh, yeah. Here we go, the Stampede and the rodeo again.
Yeah.
We've got hockey on the brain right now because actually Frank and I just watched the Battle of Alberta. It's the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers. They're playing for the Stanley Cup, and they're both Alberta teams, and they went head to head last night, and Calgary won. So it's we've shifted a little bit from rodeo to hockey, Tim.
All right.
Yeah. For this quarter of the year.
This quarter.
All right. So it must be at the end of the hockey season then.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs. They're all the teams that have qualified are fighting it out now.
NHL.
Yeah.
National Hockey League.
Yeah.
So we're just coming into the rodeo season. Yeehaw!
Yeah, another probably down south. They're probably already in it.
Yep. So Jonathan, whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm in the mountains of North Carolina, down in the States.
And I guess because you're here this evening, your daughter hasn't turned up just yet.
Not quite yet. However, she's scheduled to make her grand appearance. In 2 days on Saturday. That's when she's been invited to show up. And if she hasn't shown up by Wednesday, we'll go get her. So that's very, very close on the calendar for sure. So it'll be a big change.
Is this number one?
It is number one. World turns upside down.
Let's see how your mind reading goes with this one then.
Exactly. It's not easy when you're tired. It's difficult enough, and then when you're not sleeping on days on end, you start hearing voices that aren't yours that you don't mean to.
So are we talking about an unborn child right now?
Mm-hmm.
We are.
That? Oh, good. Because I was thinking, I may have caught this right. I may have caught it way wrong. But let's just ask.
It's a ghost child. Yeah, she's haunting the house that was built in 2015, but she's from the 1800s. We haven't figured it out yet. It's weird. Yeah, but that was kind of a morbid thought that I didn't bring up. But since we're on the subject, mentalism kind of got its start in the late 1800s when the third largest religion in America was spiritualism. And Sir Conan Arthur Doyle, who wrote Sherlock Holmes, was a very big believer. His wife claimed to be able to speak with the dead and all that kind of stuff. And Houdini at the time completely left performing at the height of his career, just said, you know what, this is a big enough problem that I'm going to devote the rest of my life to helping people not buy into it. So he recognized that all these people who claimed to be able to talk to the dead were using magician's tricks to lie to people and like, what would you give to talk to your favorite relative just one more time? Like almost anything, right? So then they would do these cheap magician tricks and take people's entire life savings and that kind of a thing. So we don't have a time machine, but there are a lot of people who claim to be able to talk to dead people, which, I mean, if you think about it, talking to dead people isn't impressive. We could do it right now. It's getting them to talk back. Now that would be a neat trick. And I've not seen a single person who was able to do that in a convincing way. So we won't be able to connect with your ancestors that way.
At least it's not today.
Right, not today.
Not today. Maybe
not
tomorrow.
Working on it. Yeah. I mean, it would completely change our understanding of physics, of how time and space works, and the after. Like, it would be amazing. Which is why I don't believe that it's happening at a 10-cent carnival. Like, it would be a little more useful than a sideshow stunt, Yeah.
Well, I was a guest on a podcast a couple of weeks back, and it's the first time I've spoke to this about this to anybody. But this was the Dream Wizard. And ever since, as far back as I can remember, I had a brother. My brother was born on the 20th of December, 1956. He died 16 hours later. I came along on the 5th of April, 58. So it'd have been about 20 months older than me, something like that. Maybe less, 17 months older than me. As far as I can remember, going back, I've always had periodically dreams of him and I interacting, our lives going forward. He would have been my big brother. He would have stood up for me on a couple of occasions, and this is right through my life. Occasionally, I'll have a really, really vivid dream about him and I, his life, where where he got married, and that went all, and that still happens today. I still have occasionally these really vivid dreams about my brother who should have been but didn't or wasn't.
Right.
And totally baffled the dream wizard. I mean, the best that we could come up with together was that there's some sort of parallel sort of universe that runs alongside, and for some reason I stray into that in my dreams occasionally. It's I mean, it's not every night, but it's once in a blue moon that I'll interact with his life that would have been, and I started writing a book about it. I started thinking back about when we've interacted and how his life had gone, and at the same time where I've told my story, I'm now putting that into a book form. It's a bit of a nightmare because I'm using an AI that does PodScript, and it doesn't quite understand the way that I speak.
Whoops.
So it's a challenge editing it. I don't know whether you use the like a PodScript to script your after your episodes, but it comes across as a bit of a challenge. But,
I use a couple of transcribing services, and yeah, it's definitely. I had a lot of fun when we did your interview. I'm actually still working on the transcription of our interview. That's how much fun I'm having.
I can only apologise.
No,
it's not my fault. It's the way I was dragged up.
Oh, it's the system needs to learn the dialect. Eh? They need to be smarter, a little bit smarter.
Yeah, well,
yes, that is why.
Doesn't understand the Queen's English because I speak the Queen's English because she comes from London as well.
Learn to enunciate your words and speak as the educated people do.
What are you trying to say?
But I am being normal. This is how I talk.
He's trying to make my job easier, but I mean, I'd rather have him just be normal.
Yeah.
I'd rather do the editing.
So would my mom, and she didn't get a normal kid either. So
okay, well, not normal, but you don't want to sound like a brand new robot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So apparently you can. There's a few different apps that you can use to do this pod scripting, but there's one that you can actually sort of pay for, where somebody actually listens and types it all up. Just wondering how much fun they could have.
Gotta slow it way down.
Yeah, cost an absolute fortune, I would have thought.
It does, yeah. So let's hear more about Jonathan and this. I understand Jonathan has a book. So you're a mind reader, are you?
I play one on stage, that's for sure. Oh. Yeah.
What am I thinking right now?
So you're not a mind reader, you're an actor.
I appreciate it. I'm flattered, but I am married, Tim. So I appreciate the interest. But, I'm spoken for.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
Sure. They all say that. Yeah. So I grew up doing magic tricks, and the mind reading tricks always seemed to be more fun. So I kind of went where I was wanted and went down that rabbit hole and got connected with a mentor who had been doing this since the day he was born, basically, and taught me all the old world secrets of vaudeville and performing and all that kind of stuff, and then struck out on my own. So
Nice.
yeah.
So you're
And
doing live shows then?
Not as many as in the before times. And then in it was about the same week in March 2020.
Mm-hmm.
My entire calendar, because it normally books about 18 months out,
Right.
and my whole year and a half evaporated in that 1 week. People that I've worked with for years, for multiple events, calling me up going, I am so sorry, but we're canceling the event. We can't do anything. I'm sorry. And then every single phone call was money going down the drain. So that was a bad week. But then I pivoted to doing kind of virtual shows. So being on Zoom and doing interactive mind reading show for colleges, and still doing a lot of corporate consulting and speaking to companies that were going virtual that used to be in person. And then my public speaking skills really came in handy of here's how to look at the camera and to work with the microphone without feeling awkward or bumping it, and just those small details that go into the importance of communication in a new dynamic that we may or may not be used to.
Yeah. It's funny for me because I was booking, everybody would say, well, let's get together in person. I'm so glad. Yeah, I don't do that. And this was before March 2020 because I was using Zoom more like everybody uses it now. And I would book my interviews and book my consulting and all that through Zoom. And I would have to teach everybody how to download the program, click on the link in advance, make sure you have your sound and your camera and all that in advance so that we're not trying to figure it out when it comes time to have your appointment, because if that's what you want to do for your appointment, I'm still billing you. Those sorts of things, and now it's so commonplace.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's been a revolution. This world pandemic has got people thinking differently of how to do stuff. I certainly find it a lot easier to do interviews over this medium than having people come in and trying to, when you're doing it in two people in the same room with each got a microphone, you've got to bleed over to each microphone. You get it was a nightmare trying to edit it out, or just trying to get the get the settings right on the processing to cut the other mics. And they've only got to speak slightly loud, and it bleeds into yours, and then you've got to try and this
for me,
is so much easier.
Yeah. And it's even easier than a phone call now.
Yeah.
Because a phone call, I've got a cell phone connection, and that is very low bandwidth versus a wired internet connection that could stream high definition video while doing Zoom. And like, why would I ever want to go back to talking into a tin can when I can just have this professional studio built out just for talking to people, and you want me to call you while you're driving? Like, that's a horrible idea.
Yeah. Talking about studios, let me just have a quick fiddle around here, and I'll show you my studio, what we've got here.
You're gonna like this, Frank. He's all rigged out here.
Oh yeah.
You got gear, lots of gear.
Don't need that. Take that out again. So let's pull this one up, and you can see what's going on. So there you go. That's me there, or that's what we're looking at the moment. And then you'll see this pop up, and that there is on the TV monitor. I've got another one here. I don't know why that didn't start for some reason, but that one's on. I think that's YouTube. That one over there is monitoring
Twitch?
Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So that was LinkedIn, but I don't know what's happened with it. There's one of my uplighters, and do you like my gun?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we
What's
need
that?
a closer look, man.
That
I can't.
is a 3D printed self-loading rifle, 7.62,
3D
Huh.
printed.
and then
Can we talk
there's
about
all my
that?
old rugby shirts.
Yeah, we
And
got
then
to
I
talk about your gun, Tim.
I could talk
Rugby.
about my gun. Yeah. So I saw a guy that's printing these things, and he does all sorts of guns. So that is what I started off life in the British military with. That's the 7.62 self-loading rifle, an SLR, and I could do the drill with it and all the rest of it. But that was the first rifle that I had. Not that exact one, because that's printed. That's a 3D
Yeah.
printed.
So
Right.
it's not
all
functional.
glued together. It's not functional. It's a fraction of the weight. That's why it just
Mhm.
sat up there on a coat hanger.
That's great. I have a 3D printed one that is functional.
All right. Ah.
I
And
can honestly say I have nothing 3D printed that I'm aware of.
there's all my old uniforms. So I've got my great coat, and there's a bear skin there. So if you want to touch my bear skin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the first time you invited me to touch your bear skin there, Tim?
yes, I didn't have it. I didn't have it to hand, but I'll go and grab it and I'll show you my bear skin. On just down there. There's my exercise bike.
Oh,
I'll
yeah. Rower?
jump on that for at least half an hour every day.
Is that a bike or a rower?
No, it's a bike. It's a recliner bike.
Mm.
So
I'm out of
and
cover.
then behind me, there's my actual. I'm on a green
So he's
screen.
not really in a pub. He's
It works
at a
so
green
well.
screen. There you
I
go.
know. Look, oh, check that out.
Well done.
Is that humorous or what?
Wow.
So,
Pretty
so what I'm
funny.
gonna let me just drop that down. I'm just going to grab my bear skin.
Oh, you know what? Just a second. We didn't get to see all your sound controls.
Oh,
Can't hear me now.
I can hear you. I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay.
Let's
Because you got an
let's pop it
amazing
back in.
setup for sound. We didn't see your.
And there's
There we
the
go.
old there's the Rodecaster Pro.
Yeah.
There's empty coffee cup.
But you've got a booster too. What's the booster pack?
Over the back.
Yeah.
See if I can get it in there. That's the cloud lifter.
Yeah.
So I run it through a cloud lifter as well, because I've got another mic over the back there. There's the other mic. So that was when I had people coming in.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I used to have a Go XLR to Rode Procaster XLR into the Go XLR thing that would then USB in. But then since I got so used to using the program that Elgato has to manage that Go XLR kind of setup or wavelength, whatever it was called, it was super cool. And then that same setup is built into this USB microphone. And I know the podcast snobs will go, oh, a USB microphone is not nearly as good as an XLR microphone. I go, one cable into my computer that I have to worry about instead of having a whole bunch of equipment just for that much difference in audio quality.
Right.
Easy choice.
Whoa, there we go.
Oh,
That microphone is huge.
There's the.
That is the biggest microphone windscreen I've ever seen in my life.
yeah.
If you've ever wondered what goes into a bear skin,
What's in there?
that's what
Leather
they were made
strap.
of. So that's
So that's how you adjust the size without having to change anything else, huh?
yeah, kind of. I mean,
That's cool.
The rim itself is the right size for the head.
Ah,
Yeah, to be
But,
totally honest, that is not what I thought you meant by bear skin, but that's okay.
Hang on.
Ah, right on.
There you go, bear skin.
So isn't that supposed to go under your chin?
Yeah, kind of. I haven't got it set
It gets
right.
real tight. It gets
It's
real
just-
tight.
His head's gotten bigger since then.
Yeah, got a big head.
Yeah. Growing taller.
Very
So there you
good.
go.
There it is.
There it is.
Wow.
So anytime you want to come and touch my bearskin, feel free.
Yeah. Well, how hard are they to come by?
They actually cost around about £600
Yikes.
if you lose one.
Okay, what's
That
the
one was-
conversion? I need to do conversion here. What is that?
I don't know. Roughly speaking, probably what was it about 125 to the pound, something like that.
Yeah, about 900.
Probably about $900, something like that.
Well, I got it. 600 pounds sterling, $960.12 Canadian as of today, right now. Okay.
Wow.
That's
And
the conversion rate.
750 United States dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what they call that one was given to me. It was being written off. So
Wow.
so I've got a Buckshee one.
They retired the bear, eh?
Yeah, and it's a proper bear as well as it's a brown bear.
Or a brown. Yeah.
And that's well, no, they breed them for them. They don't go out into the woods and get the what's name ones, the wild ones. They breed them for it, I think.
Oh my.
So there you go.
Okay.
So that's
You
my
see-
little setup.
You say, Tim, that they breed them for the hats alone?
Yeah, I think so. Just for the pelt.
You're kidding.
They did trial at one stage synthetic.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't get them right, and they just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I mean, because it's sustainable and all the rest of it, they've gone back to doing the proper ones, proper bearskin.
Yeah.
Seems a
And-
little
But
sad.
to be honest, I mean that they do they recycle them or they repurpose them all the time. So they're not continually killing bears for new hats. So some of the hats are sort of 50 years, 60, 100 years old. So yeah.
Wow.
But they do take them in and they refurbish them. So there you go. That's about a bearskin.
Wow.
Yeah. An education there for sure.
Yeah. So I'm off to a wedding next week. So
Oh, where?
it's up in Suffolk. So it's in the east of the country, and it's between Colchester and Ipswich. And I'm being a toastmaster.
You're being a
Well-
Toastmaster.
Yes, so I'm going to be saying, "My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the bride and the bride."
Wow. So MC is what we call it here, I think.
All right, yeah. So, well,
Master
we're a
ceremony.
we're a bit posher over here, you know.
Well, we have clubs that are called Toastmaster clubs that teach you about public speaking and how to speak in public. So that's it. It's a proper term, right? Because that's what all of this is a descendant of. But yeah, I guess it gets everywhere you go. It's called something different.
Yeah. So this is a gay wedding.
It's okay. Wonderful.
First one I've done. First one I've been to. First one I've been invited to.
Oh, I
Is this a professional invitation or friends and family kind of a thing?
Well, it's my old mate Harry. His daughter is getting married to her girlfriend, and they asked me if I would come along and herd the cats. Basically, so
I don't even know. Is that even proper? Somebody's going to have a problem with that.
Well, apparently the photographer needs a little bit of assistance with getting people at the right place at the right time.
Okay.
So this is I've got the sort of the running order of what's going to happen. So she's turning up about 1:30 in the afternoon and arriving by boat.
Oh, nice.
And
there a
the
canal?
boat is going to stop outside the restaurant or the venue on the pontoon, and she's going to get off. So they want all the guests out to greet one of the
Brides.
one of the brides. Yeah, I tell you, I think I'm getting Alzheimer's.
You're going
It's going to make my job a lot more difficult.
See the right word, you're going to come out with the wrong one.
I know.
So, Frank, we could have a conversation around this, okay? Because Frank's going to be 80 in July.
Is that all?
No, it's not old. It's actually wonderful. So 80 and understanding
Just
like
a
a lot of
boy.
the terminology and what's politically correct and all this, it's a big struggle now, right?
Definitely.
You have to, like, you feel like you're walking on eggshells with every conversation, don't you?
Yeah.
If I put my foot in it, I'll put my foot in it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And so this is something we don't talk about, though. I mean, I think that it's really important to understand that nobody's trying to do anything overtly to offend anybody, but at the same time, you get at a loss of what to do, because no matter what you do, somebody's going to be pissed off about something or offended or whatever. You just there's no school that you can go to learn all of this so that you can have an everyday conversation.
Yeah.
Tough. I've worked out my pronouns, by the way.
You worked out?
Yeah, I've worked out what my pronouns are.
Oh, what's that?
You can call me sir. Color.
Pronouns. I thought you said programs. Sorry.
No, pronoun. Get with the program.
Good luck transcribing that.
Yeah.
Pronouns.
Sort out my pronouns. So yeah. I could be called sir.
Uh-huh.
Color.
Yeah,
color. Color.
That's not a pronoun.
Or if you want to be a guards officer, it's color sergeant. Excuse me, color sergeant.
Oh, I see.
But in an infantry regiment, I'm color.
Yeah.
When I first got to the guards, I struggled at getting used to being called sir all the time, because I'd come from my previous unit where I was called color, and I've been a color sergeant for donkey's years, so I'm used to being called color. And then I turn up at the guards, and the guardsmen are calling me sir, and the officers are calling me color sergeant all the time. It's color sergeant, not color sergeant, and the lads are calling me sir. So it took a little while to get the hang of being called sir and color sergeant. But that's the guards for you. But I'm not a guardsman. But I did take an awful lot of liberties when I was in London, trust me.
I don't think that's really what they mean by pronouns, though, Tim.
What should it be?
Well, okay, so we're talking about...
I could be a mister, but I'm not really a mister. I've never been... I haven't been a mister since I was 16.
Okay, so I think what they're looking for, like me, my pronouns are her, she, right? And so in gender identity, you would be he, him, or
he, she.
Or are you a he, she?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's the thing. It's like, so that's what the people get to say what they are. So you can be.
So he just said what he is.
Well,
yeah. I'm sorry. Color just said what color is.
Yeah, color sergeant.
Yeah, so it'll confuse.
Or it could go by or you.
I mean, it'll confuse as much as we are confused others. But yeah, he, she, they, them. Those are from what I understand, the most common pronouns.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Why can't you say or you, or use their name? That could be
use their name.
This is
This
is English. This is English.
Yeah.
English.
Mind you, having said that, then I saw a clip on the other on the news the other day. There was a demonstration of some sort, and somebody misgendered this thing. They were wearing masks and And this reporter said, "Excuse me, sir." And this thing just went off onto one. You've misgendered me. Started shouting and screaming at him, and
This
he
is what I
still
say.
managed
There's such a
to
challenge,
call
right?
us sir.
And nobody intended to do anything.
No,
You know.
it's
Yeah,
it's just
it is.
ridiculous. Why
Well, it is
why do we
something
need
we
to
are
go
more
down that
aware
road?
of now, for sure.
Yeah.
I know occasionally I go for coffee with one of my old school friends. So we go back to when we were 6 to 12 years old. So we're sitting around in the coffee shop, chattered away about how we talked when we were kids. And I turned to him and I say, if some over sensitive individual heard us talk, we'd probably both end up in jail. Because if you know, I don't know, think back 60 years ago, what was there's words now that are impossible to say.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many television programs that you couldn't put on the air nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether you saw programs like Love Thy Neighbour, Till Death Us Do Part,
Yeah.
Steptoe and Son, that were, I mean, great shows. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't actually cancelled the Carry On films. You
Yeah.
must have seen the Carry On films in Canada.
Well, what's an example of one of those?
Well, the first one he ever did was Carry On Sergeant, and it was about conscripts joining national service. So that was a while back, and that was the first one. And then they've done, I think, 20, 26, 27 or 28 Carry On films. There was Carry On Cabby, Carry On Up the Khyber. I mean, that's one of my favourites. Carry On Up the Khyber. Carry On Cleo, Carry On Doctor. So Carry On Nurse. So
I'm not familiar with any of these. Mind you, they did come out before I was born. So there's the 50s.
I'll behave yourself.
This is the 60s. Come on. Carry On Sergeant was 1958.
Oh, you just looked it up, have you?
I did. Look at that.
Well, the last one was 1978 was the last one, which is
I was
on
7.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
anyway, with the gender
264.
pronouns. Hey?
I'm 264.
No, 164.
Yep.
60.
No. You know when you're on the phone or you're stood in front of somebody and they're writing down all your details. You give your name, your address, and then they say date of birth. I always come out with 5/4/1758, and they write down 5/4/1758. Can I get your date of birth again? Yeah, 5/4/1758. No, I said, yeah, I'm 264. I don't look the age, do I? And you could see wheels going on inside her head, thinking,
Oh, that's such a good gag. Oh, I love that so much.
He's having me over. No, I'm not. I'm 264, honest.
Oh, man, I love that. Well,
And
unfortunately, I
just keep a
gotta
straight
hop
face when you
off.
do it.
So I just want to say it has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you, and thanks for having me on again. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining, Jonathan. Good luck with the baby. Hope she turns up on time.
Yeah.
You'll be able to read her mind. More importantly, when she grows up a bit, you'll be able to read the minds of the boys that come round dating. That's the more important one. Know what they're thinking.
Or the girls. Let's not be gender insensitive here.
All right. On that note, see you later.
Nice to meet you, Jonathan. Thank
Pleasure
you.
seeing you.
Care.
Bye.
Catch up soon.
You got it.
Oh dear. Wow.
I opened up a can of worms. It's like
You did.
Well, and I have to, because to be honest, it's a big deal right now. I've got a teenager, and it's something that it's super important to. I mean, it's hard. I get it. It's hard, but it's anything new that comes up with new generations, we just kind of have to try and embrace that they're doing the best they can and we're doing the best we can.
Perhaps they just need a little bit of re-education in what should be.
Well, I don't know about that. You and I would be on different sides of the coin there. I think we kind of leave
Yes.
that one there.
Park it. What should we talk about now?
Oh, it's your show. It's your show. But if you want to have a heated debate, we can do that. I don't think that's what you want to have happen today.
Well, you never know. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Now this always confuses me a bit. Now, if you're watching somebody's YouTube or listening to somebody's podcast or something like that, and you can see, particularly with YouTube, you can see how many people have watched an episode, and you could see how many people have clicked the like button, and the disparity in the figures is amazing. So somebody can sort of, you can get somebody, or you could see that there's been about, for instance, 2,500 views of a particular episode, and you get about 4 or 5 clicks on the like, and probably 1 or 2 comments. I don't understand what the aversion to clicking the like button is.
Because it identifies people, and a lot of people don't want to be identified. It also does is it comes up in my YouTube stream and shows that that's what I've been watching, and other people can see that. So it depends on your awareness of what YouTube is. Some people are very, very aware how they're identified by doing that sort of thing, and other people aren't.
Well, just by clicking the like button.
Yeah, I can see what you click on. I can see what you like. Yeah. It used to be I used to have my YouTube linked to my Facebook account. And then every time I listened to or liked a music video, it would show up on my Facebook, and I went, "Hey, Fank." And I'd have to turn it off because they were calling me out on everything I was listening to. And, let me tell you what, there's all kinds of stuff I like to listen to. I don't necessarily want everything I view or listen to on a YouTube to show up on every single platform that I'm on, right? Then maybe I'm doing research for something. Not everybody needs to know I'm researching this or that, or so yeah, but like is support, comment is engagement, subscribing is following. So not everybody wants to do that part. Like I can watch everybody's YouTube videos and not subscribe and not like and not comment. But when I think something needs more visibility, I'm going to do all those things. But I know I understand the visibility part, so I'm going to go out of my way to do that. Like I comment on videos that if I was on your YouTube channel and you put our video out, I comment on that because I want it to get more visibility. I want you to know that I've seen it. I want to create engagement on that platform. So, but I do it very intentionally. I'm very intentional about doing it. Not everybody understands that. Look, if you were interviewed by somebody and they put it out on their YouTube channel, go and make a comment, go and make a like, go and subscribe. Why? Because your video is then going to get more views.
It is a conundrum, really is. And I hadn't looked at it that way, but when I'm watching, there's channels that I subscribe to, and if I'm watching their video, I'll click the like button, and occasionally I'll put a comment in on it. But it's funny how many people watch a YouTube and don't click likes, don't subscribe, don't put comments on, and you just got to wonder how these channels actually ever grow, because the way that a channel grows is people subscribing to it.
it's not the only way it grows. So
No.
do you have a YouTube channel? Do you want to look at your YouTube channel?
Yeah, can do. How do we do that? Do you want me to pull it up?
Well,
Or
you
do
would
you...
need to share your screen, or I could share
Yeah.
my screen. So, when you put an episode up on a YouTube, like when you put your YouTube out, do you add tags of keywords to it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's,
that's how. So
let me
when
see if
people
I
are
can
searching,
pull it up. If I
Yeah.
pull it up and then I can share my screen. So if I go to my channel, give her that. Let's come
so
back
according to a digital
this.
report that just came out, one of the search engines reported, and this came out via HubSprout, did a global summary, and it was April 2022 that the report came out, so it's current. YouTube was one of the highest searched channels. So when you say on this search engine, YouTube is the number one platform that gets searched for. If we're not, for example, on your, let's go to the whatever that one is with Lord Templeton, for example.
That one.
Yeah.
No, hang on. How do I do that? I've got to go on to it.
Manage video.
The Tim Heale
So now
podcasts.
you want to, you want to edit video. So if you click on edit video.
Yeah.
And bring that up. This shows all your back end.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
more.
what I do is when I go in there, then I'll go in and I'll click some of these things down here, put some of those in.
So the only time that this is going to be searched and found on YouTube through that browser that has YouTube as number one is through those keywords that you put in there. So if you go back up to where your tags are.
Yeah.
Tags. If you scroll down just a little bit, it says international speaker, communications consultant, and author.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the only search terms that they're going to find you through. So you want to be putting words in here that relate to the conversation you had and what the topics you talked about, right? For more visibility. Then when somebody is looking for conversations that are, so what did you guys talk about? She's the founder of a company. So the word founder could go in there. Business owners could go in there. Networking has to go in there so that people understand what they're finding in this conversation, and it can be found for the content that's in it.
Right. Oh, I didn't know that.
That's visibility.
See, I'm still learning all of this stuff here.
Oh, we all are, Tim. It changes every day. So we all are. But so ditch the pitch. That's, and here in your description too, I would actually put a hashtag with your name and her name. And I would put, the Tim Heale podcasts, like hashtag it, so that when people are searching Tim Heale podcast, this is going to come up it's cataloged to come up as part of the search.
So that needs to go in the description, does it? Down here?
Yeah.
So if I click in there and then I go something like
down to the bottom. Or go all the way to the bottom. Put it at the bottom always.
All right.
It's a post. It's like a postscript. It's not actually part of. You might
down here.
Yeah, keep going, and then just do and no spaces. Hashtags don't have spaces, so don't put a space. There you go. So then I would curate up to 5 hashtags related to an episode. And it has to be mostly letters and numbers, hey?
What was it? Templeton, wasn't it?
So what was the deep part? Like, what if you were to use one word about that conversation that you two had, what was it? What stood out for you? What was that conversation about?
Oh, now you're asking very difficult questions. I'll have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah. So from your description, though, it says, that you're having conversations that are like
Right.
impactful conversations, and you're looking for what your 30-second piece of content. Is that
Yeah.
what you guys were talking about? So let's see here. Let's read this. In this episode, you chat with Laura. Laura is an international speaker, author, and communications consultant. She's the founder of 30-Second Success. So that would be a hashtag.
30-second success.
Yeah.
So just put a hashtag there.
No, just put it at the bottom. You don't want to edit your description at all. You want to add it as an end, and you take the spaces out. So you're just going to copy that, are you?
Yep.
Okay. And then you put a hashtag in front of the 3. Okay, so works with inspiring business owners, professionals to understand the power of networking. So you're going to put a hashtag for business owners, and you're going to put a hashtag for networking, because that's who your target is. Your target is business owners who are wanting tools for networking. Okay, so you're also you would also networking, yeah, and then impact would be another word you would use, because you're not just looking for business owners that want to network. You're looking for business owners that want to make an impact. So if I'm searching for something, I'm going to go, I'm a business owner and I want to make an impact. So that's what I'm going to search. And so we want to make sure it's cataloged so it comes up when you're searching for those sorts of things.
Right. But that'll do, won't it, for now?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So I need to go back.
I look for about 5 to 10 of those. And I not only do I put them in, the descriptions, but the tags, I would take those and put them in the tags below. And I would put them
with the hashtags or not?
Not with the hashtags, no. So the easy way for me to do this is I would copy it all, put it in notes, take out the hashtags, and then copy it into down here. But definitely your podcast name, Tim. Definitely your name, definitely her name. Okay?
Yeah.
Ditch the pitch is another one. You can hashtag that.
Ditch the pitch. Where's
Ditch
that?
the pitch, yeah. And if she's not using these in her marketing, she can, because that would be just absolutely synergistic to what she's doing for a living, right?
Yeah.
And you could help her by sharing that with her, that, if she wants to leverage these hashtags and hashtags and tag keywords, right? Keywords and tags and hashtags. But this is a big part of visibility that people miss.
Yeah, this is probably why mine aren't sort of flying off the shelf, as it were.
Yeah, the other one you can add here is podcast and Podmatch, because you probably connected with her on Podmatch.
Yeah.
So then that
Podmatch has been pretty awesome for me, I must admit.
Me too. Isn't this fun, Frank?
Yeah, well, getting a total education, I can tell you, I didn't even know any of that stuff existed. Or the mechanics of making it work.
Yeah, this is all back end stuff. Lots of people don't know this.
Yeah.
So this is what you've been learning then?
Well, learning and teaching, and there's a lot of people have put out their YouTube videos without the capability of people being able to comment on the show, right? So that doesn't help anybody, because that's another one. Tim, you might be coming across shows that have a ton of views and no comments because the comment feature isn't even available for them.
Yeah. So I've made the comments down here. Where are
So
we?
I would put the
Yeah.
word actual podcast so that people, allow comments. There you go. And you want to hold comments for review because there's spam bots. So you have to review them.
All right.
If
There.
it says hold for comment. Yeah, hold for, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, all
There's
those
boxes there.
That might be why you don't have any comments. So that would have to be done on every, you can do that in your back end part for every, so that it's universal across all your episodes, or you can do it per episode.
All right. So copy all this off. Do a copy of that and then put it in all of them, or the key ones anyway.
No, the
Yep.
commenting feature is what I was referring to there.
Oh, down here.
Yeah. So where you clicked on allow comments and hold for
Yeah.
comments. So there's the question mark there. You click on the question mark. So that could be like a universal feature that you change through for all of your shows, and not just, otherwise you have to go in and do this for every individual show.
Right.
And you may have to do it for the ones that are already published, but going forward, when you publish them, you want to make sure that comments are definitely an option.
Yeah. So I've got my work cut out tomorrow then.
Well, maybe, hey.
Yeah.
or you can hire somebody like me and just give me access and I'll go fix it all for you.
I'm a pensioner.
Right? That's
We'll have to have a charge. Chat
have to have a
about
chat.
charges.
Okay, so let's see. Likes. Look at this.
Yeah. I've got
Okay,
a like
so
on
what
each
about
one.
these ones that are older?
Down here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to get the odd like on there.
So there's no harm in encouraging your guest. For every episode, you have a little chat with them. You say, hey, look, I'm going to put this out on YouTube. I'd like you very much to go and like the episode and comment.
Yeah. And that helps build it.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
and
here's
subscribe to the channel.
our one, look.
Yeah, right on. Look at that. So this is where, again, all kinds of things you can go in and play with and add hashtags and keywords to for us. That would be wonderful.
That's what I've got on there already.
Okay. So, Calgary Stampede. Nice.
I need to put a lot more in there then.
Well, we could definitely play with it if you like, for sure.
Yeah. How are we doing anyway? I don't know where we are at the moment.
But I'm sure you want to talk about something else for the rest of your show.
Yeah, we don't really want to bore people silly with.
You know what?
Well, I mean, some people will be really interested. Hopefully,
sure.
This will go up. I did this little video the other day. I don't know whether many people saw it, but I thought I'd have a bit of fun. So you ready to watch a little bit of a video?
What do you say, Frank?
Sure.
Here we go then. Stand by. You're going to be muted when this goes on.
Sounds good.
And you'll probably be muted at the end of it as well.
The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.
The Tim Heale Thirsty Thursday live stream from 7 until 9 weekly. Here's your host, Tim Heale.
Welcome, everybody. I'd like to set you a challenge. This is a simple challenge. All I'm asking you to do is click the subscribe button. So all you've got to do is click the subscribe button. It won't cost you a single penny, but it will help me out with my channel. So the challenge is to see how many subscribes I can get in one day. So if you would like to subscribe, click the subscribe button. And if you could also do me a massive, massive favor and just share it with some friends and ask them to do exactly the same. Just click the subscribe button. You don't need to do any more than that. It won't cost a penny. It take a second just to go click, done, subscribe, done. And what it will do is it will help me grow my channel. That's all I'm looking to do. And when I grow the channel, more and more people will be able to see what I'm doing, where I'm interviewing other people and getting some fascinating stories along the way. So please, 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 if you can just click the subscribe button and then share it with your friends and ask them to do exactly the same. I want to try and see how many subscriptions I can get in one day. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
The Tim Heale Thirsty Thursday live stream from 7 until 9 weekly.
The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.
How
Very
was that?
good. Hey, good stuff. You put on your bow tie and a vest, and you got your top hat on. I think that's just fantastic. Now, every person you've ever interviewed needs a reminder of that. You need to send that. I would suggest that you send it to them and say, hey, please, your show will get more visibility the more subscribers we have. You be the first one. Lead by example.
Yeah. Did you see the other one that I did?
I think I did, but when you want to show it, let's show it.
There you go. Stand by.
The Tim Heale Thirsty Thursday live stream from 7 until 9 weekly. Here's your host, Tim Heale.
I'd just like to say a really big thank you to everybody that has wished me happy birthday. And all I would like for my birthday is if people could click the like button on my YouTube channel and my podcasts. And if you want to put a bit of icing on there, if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be brilliant. And the cherry on top of the cake, well, if you could just put a comment and then share it, that would be awesome. Thank you very much for my birthday wishes again. Cheers.
The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.
Yeah.
I wish more people could have as much fun with this as you do. It's fantastic. What were you drinking, by the way?
Spiced rum.
Yeah, looking
I drink
pretty
far too much
yummy.
spiced rum.
What do you think, Frank?
That was kind of cool. Yeah, it set the tone pretty good. Yeah, with a little comedy and it made a point. Eh?
Yeah, so I
and
put
now
that
you
up
can
on,
use it every birthday.
FaceAche.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I put that up on FaceAche.
FaceAche.
Or did I say it again? Facebook.
But it could go on. So it could go on every platform. It doesn't have to just go on FaceAche. Yeah. And you can use it every birthday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every birthday. Yeah.
I can lend it. I can lend it to people.
Totally. Just totally make one for me. I got a birthday coming.
Yeah. We could do that.
Sounds good.
We can record it, edit it, put the stings on there, back and front.
Right on. Yeah.
Crikey, look. We're almost an hour and 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
If I could make a suggestion, if I could make a suggestion for Tim, when he does his hashtags, he could put in a genealogy too, because he has an interest in genealogy. And he and I talked a little bit about it. So somebody would look that up, would see that, and maybe they would fish a bit and have a chat with you or something, try to dig up some information. Because I know I would.
Yeah.
Mainly because your name and mainly because it shows up in my tree line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good suggestion. There's all kinds of suggestions for Tim because he actually is creating his podcast is a legacy podcast. So there's that word as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's all kinds of, but short of, counseling.
And in the meantime, maybe I might get a plug too along the road. Somebody might be wanting to say, geez, I'm going to talk to that guy. He might know something I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everybody who shows up should be, their names could be for sure.
Yeah.
I need counseling.
Well, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I'll have to employ some of your services.
Oh, I don't think I have a problem with that at all. Yeah. What else did you want to talk about, or is your show running over now? You wanted to do how long did
No,
you
we
go?
go for 2 hours. We've got another 40 minutes to make out yet.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to take a quick break. Can I let you and Frank chat for a bit?
I think we all need a quick break. I could put a break on.
Could you put a break on? I
Yeah, I
just
could
need
put a
like a
break on.
2-minute one.
Yeah. What can we do? I can put something up as a break. Here we
Okay.
go. Let's stick the banner on first. Where's the right banner? I think that's the banner.
I'll be back
And
in
then
a few minutes. Just pop to the
Pop
loo.
to the loo.
Literally. That's what I'm trying to do here.
absolutely. And
Never heard it called the loo. That's cool.
right now, I'll just drop us down, and then we'll come back in a couple of minutes.
All
Okay.
right, thank you.
So we'll leave them with Artie the ship's cat.
Yeah. Give me a chance to get rid of that light behind my head.
Welcome back, everybody. So we had to pop off to the little boys and little girls room. It gets you after a while at our age. So if I can, anybody that's out there, can you just pop a comment and say hi or hello in the chat box? That would be very good, thank you. And if you can, click the like button. It makes a lot of difference clicking like buttons. So we've got about 35 minutes to go before we finish up this little chat. So hopefully you found it informative and interesting, and one thing and another. Right, let's bring Frank back in the room. How you doing, Frank?
Good.
So we can have a look at. I wonder if I can maybe bring up something. I don't know where I can do it on here. don't think I've got it on here. I have to have a look, see whether I was just thinking about. I haven't got it on here. That's a shame. Maybe I can do it for another time. What I was hoping to do was pull up my ancestry, but I haven't got it on this machine. That's a shame.
Yeah.
We could have we can have a chat about ancestry anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
because ancestry is quite important to some people. It's there you go, Jen's back.
Thank you very much. I needed that break.
Yes. I starting to break myself. Now I can start topping up again. Look.
Oh
I've got the
my.
old Adam's apple, Adam's ale.
Adam's ale.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about that? What is that? Looks like
Adam's
sparkling
ale.
water to me.
You can get this. Oh, look at that. Look, it's clear.
I know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'd like to say that it's white rum, but it's not. It's not even vodka or gin. It's Adam's ale, which comes out the tap. It's water. H2O.
Oh my gosh, it's a biblical reference to water. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Oh my.
Yeah, Adam's ale. So yeah, we're separated by a common language.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can talk for hours and people wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about.
I think that's me some days too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm okay, really. I mean, when we get right into like silly terminology about online stuff, I
Yeah.
lose people quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get lost in online stuff.
And and you're very tech savvy, and Frank's tech savvy too, as far as
Yeah.
different generations of people go. I mean, Frank, you've got a Facebook and an Instagram account, and it's like most people his age don't have any.
Yeah.
Facebook. What's Facebook?
I was only just a few years ago that this was just coming in. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and you go back 5 years, and we didn't have the technology that we've got now. I mean,
No.
look at what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
But podcasting
you
has
go-
been around for 19 years. I mean, it's not new.
oh no, it's not new, but
No.
it's only really just started to blossom.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of it's a new phenomena. I mean,
Well,
YouTube's been around for a while.
Radio stations here are have podcasts in their advertising. So
Yeah.
that's when they're embracing and advertising to take in this podcast about this subject. I mean, it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah. I'm looking at going on a radio program in a not too distant to talk about something or other.
You can't give it away. Is it a hush hush?
I don't know. I picked it up of Podmatch. So it came up in my matches. So I've
So are
pinged
you
them
not
whether
allowed to promote it?
I don't know what it is. I can't remember. I've only pinged them as a connection.
Oh,
So
I see.
I put a bit of a pitch on there, to see if they want me on their show. But I think it goes out live. I think it goes out live on a Saturday night. This show that these guys are on. So, but I think it's an actual radio station where they have people chatting away.
Good. Embrace the new platform. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Hold on.
run into a large volume of topics. One just leads
Yeah.
to another, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to go and talk about anything. I do talk some rubbish sometimes, but
Yeah.
That's the extrovert in you. Hey?
no, I'm a total introvert. I mean, I'm very, very shy.
I think you got some wires crossed there.
Oh, next week I'm going
Yeah.
up to London. I'm going to the podcast show in London.
Are you? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
what
a
it's
2-day
called?
event. The podcast show,
That's what it's
and
called.
it's in London. I'm not 100% sure what it's all about. I can't quite get my head around what they're trying to do, but it's a 2-day event in London.
And so were you invited? Did you have to pay tickets or what?
I forget where it came in from, but I saw it advertised and I bought because I can only go for the one day because the following day is the wedding. So I'm going up on the Wednesday.
I lost
Oh,
you.
hi, Greg.
I lost you.
Oh, no, I'm still here. Honest, I'm still here. Good evening, Greg. How are you, mate? It's good to see you there. So we've got a mate joined in, Greg.
Good.
So he said, hello, Tim, Frank, and Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi.
Give him a wave. Hello.
Where was that? Where did we get that hi from?
That is in the comments. Can you see the comments? Should be able to see the comments at the side there.
Oh, private
I'm
only.
not sure what.
Oh, nice. Okay.
No, I
wonderful.
can't see
So
comments. Oh, yeah.
in the top one, he's in Norwich.
Oh, I see comments
Norfolk.
there. I don't know if I got enough screen.
Just gonna make it
All
bigger.
right.
So this podcast show, London, it is 25th to the 26th.
Yeah.
Business Design Center.
Yeah.
You see, wow, it looks like they've
It's
got
up
like
in
a lineup of several speakers.
lots and lots of speakers over the 2 days.
Nice. British
so-
Scandal, you might like that one.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not.
So then, if you pick the shows you want to take in,
No.
looks like an amazing venue.
So I'm just going to turn up and do it on the fly. Just work out. I've got a day ticket anyway, so might learn a thing or two.
Wow.
So
Yeah, no, it looks great. Too bad I can't get myself to London. 2 dogs and a cat.
but there's one down in Orlando, is it?
Oh,
Is it?
right now, Podfest.
Podfest, yeah.
It's
They were giving away tickets, but I mean, it's a little bit far for me to go in a day.
I'm not. Yeah, me either.
So there was. Been round my mum and dad's tonight for tea. Lucky bugger. Just got back. The sunset here and it was wicked, and saw you online, so thought I'd jump in. Well,
Oh,
thanks very much, Greg. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on board. So where are we going? What are we doing at the moment? So that's next week. There's the podcast show in London. I'll find out what all that's about, and I'll report back on. I'll get this. We had to go trying to record next week's show last night.
Right.
So try and get your head around this. So we're recording this on Wednesday, but it's going out next Thursday, which is now Thursday. If you're watching it, this was last Wednesday. I had all sorts of issues going on with it. So,
Oh, did you?
oh yeah, I mean, the internet went down a lot, so we're gonna have to. I managed to salvage about 50 odd minutes out of it, but I'm gonna have to try and do another hour odd recording over the weekend to be able to ready to go out for next Thursday.
So what
Because
were
I'm
your
not
topics about?
Oh, we
Just
were talking
about
about all sorts of things. We were talking about the wedding. We was talking about motorbikes. We was talking about all manner of stuff.
You're all over the place.
Because next month I'm off to the Adventure Riders Festival,
Oh,
a place called Ridgely Hall in Warwickshire. So it's a sort of 3-day festival. Get there on the Friday. They got bands on. They've got motorbikes to go and try and all sorts of things. And it's 2 nights camping.
wow.
Not quite sure how I'm going to get on with camping, having ridden there on my motorbike.
Oh, well, you don't have one of those one-man tents you can.
Oh yeah, I've got a half decent tent. I put it up the other day just to make sure it still works. I mean, I haven't had it out for years, so I put it up in the front garden, and yeah, I still know how to put it up. It all works. I might need to stick a couple of bits of elastic and stuff on it, but
Maybe give it an aerosol spray. So,
well, I think it's fine. I mean, it'll be okay. Sure, it'll be. If I get wet, I'll get wet. I've got a big old thick Thermarest, so the only worry I've got is getting up, getting up off the floor.
yeah.
So I'm gonna have all this gear on the back of my motorbike. So it should be quite a bit of fun, hopefully.
So this
I'm
is done in a
really looking
farmer's
forward to
field,
it.
is it?
What's that?
This is done in a farmer's field.
Yeah, well, it's one of these country manor type farm or places. I don't know. It's a hall, Ridgely Hall. It's called in Warwickshire. So it's quite away from where I am. So
So how far do you have to go? I don't know how many.
it's
kilometers.
probably well in Canadian terms, it's probably just round the corner. But
Oh, okay.
here, it's probably going to take us a good couple of hours to get up there. It's probably 130, 140 miles, something like that. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit. I haven't properly looked.
Yeah, for us that is right around.
What
That's
bike
the
are you
mountain.
loading all that gear on? Oh, that's going to be a 1200 Ducati Multistrada.
What, a Ducati? Ducati.
Yeah, I
How
got
do
a
you say it?
Ducati Multistrada. Somebody just shot past on a motorbike. Oh, right. Hang on. Let's see. This should be a little bit of fun. I'm not quite sure if this is gonna work. Just hang on there, Steve and Greg. I'm gonna ping you the link if I can just. Hey,
That's how we
where'd that
say it.
come?
Ducati. I always say it wrong.
It's a
Ducati motorbike.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's see who we've got here. Where is he? Let's see if we can get some guys just to finish off. That one. It's not there, is it?
What you looking for?
I'm just pinging the link out to see if some guys want to jump in. I think we should get some. The link's up on Messenger, guys. Let me see if I can get one more.
Oh, that okay. I'm seeing who you're seeing now. When you said there's a message group on Facebook, Frank, that Tim has where he's shared the link with some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we might get a couple more guys coming in. Oh, there you go. Are you ready, Steve? You're in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're looking gorgeous tonight.
Thanks, mate. I'm at work.
He's even brushed his hair and everything.
I might have to shoot if the works phone goes off, but I intended to start a bit earlier than what I have, but I came in at 6:30 and I stopped about 5 minutes ago.
We were on a little bit of a break for a few minutes. I think maybe, was that it?
The link's there. This might have been an error. See what happens.
Nice to meet you, Steve. I'm Jennifer.
Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Yeah, hi, Steve. It's Frank here.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah,
Hi.
they're in Calgary, over in Canada.
Yeah, in
Alberta,
about
Yeah.
4 hours north of a town called Red Deer.
Yeah.
Well, about 2 hours south.
Is
of
that
Red
taking
Deer.
a shortcut?
Yeah. Edmonton is a little, probably the one you're thinking about. We're at Red Deer's in the middle of Edmonton and Calgary. So yeah, about an hour and a half it takes us. Actually,
I might have been thinking Edmonton. One of my friends lives in Red Deer, and her best friend lives in Edmonton. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's your connection with Red Deer? So.
It's the first place in my life I've seen that they had to plug in trucks that were diesel trucks.
Hi, Greg. How you doing?
Hi, Tim. How you doing? I'm good.
Yeah, this is Greg.
I've seen that they had to.
Hello, Frank. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Steve.
Hi,
Hi, Tim. How you doing? Good.
Yeah, this is Hang on, someone's got some feedback going.
Steve.
Somebody needs to turn something down.
Hi, Tim. How you doing? Good.
Yeah, this is that's you, Greg.
Steve.
You need to mute
everybody,
something.
but yeah, if you mute, then we'll figure out who it is. There we go. So you got something. Greg has something playing in the background. That's
he's watching it on YouTube.
Okay.
As well as joined in.
Okay, so one has to be muted.
Yeah, he is on my
screen. While he's turning everything down and off.
Well, let's see if he's got it. So Steve said something about the first place he'd ever heard of where diesel trucks had to be plugged in. Yes, we get -40 weather here, and that's Celsius.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
That's
to freeze your baby toe off.
That could freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
Okay, well, I wasn't gonna go there because being the only female in the group, I thought I'd leave you guys' balls alone. But
shall I tell you all about a brass monkey?
That is.
It's not as rude as it sounds.
Brass. Perhaps you could tell Steve because you was Royal Navy. Steve was in the Navy. He was one of those weird sort that went on a boat.
If you caught earlier in the episode, you saying weird sort does not work in context right now. It just doesn't. Anyway.
So in the days of the square rigged ships when they had cannons, the cannonballs were stored in a triangle like this, but it was quite deep, and the balls were put in and then stacked into a pyramid, and that was known as a brass monkey. But when they went anywhere that was freezing cold, quite literally freezing, because the brass would contract, the balls that were on top would spill out. So it was cold enough to freeze the balls off the brass monkey.
Every day is a school day, isn't it?
Yeah. No, there's
that's where that saying comes from.
Oh my God, my friends in oil and gas are going to love that.
We weren't being rude at all.
Appropriate, inappropriate. It depends on. You're going to put a not for minor viewing on this, right?
Well, it's education, isn't it? Now it's education. now they know where that term came from.
Yeah, the terminology. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So just imagine one of these little kids that's watched this and he's in the playground with his mates and he says, "Yeah, guess what? I learned something the other night." And they say, "What's that?" "I learned our balls fall off a brass monkey." You can see it in the playground, can't you?
Yeah, you could you?
Oh, you are such a bad influence.
I know. But don't you just love me?
Yes, you're very endearing.
I do like to have a laugh. It's official. I am funny.
It's official.
Yeah.
It's official.
See, Frank, I told you you'd have a good time.
Yes. So what did you have for your tea, Greg? Round at your mum and dad's?
Salmon, sweet mashed potato, and steamed green vegetables, bit of cabbage, bit of broccoli, and some fava beans, and with a hollandaise sauce. It was a bit of a mishmash, but it was very nice.
Now you're talking.
Oh, how the other half live, eh?
You can't beat your mum's cooking. Doesn't matter how good or bad it is. Your mum's cooking is always mum's cooking. And my mum's not bad at cooking, so
I might beg to differ on that one. So certainly it was true of my late wife. God, I mean, the problem with my late wife was that she didn't like cooking. So to get a half decent meal, I'd step up to the plate and cook it.
You put the apron on, would you?
Yeah, put me pinny on. I could rustle up a mean Sunday roast, all the trimmings.
That's all that matters if you're British.
Absolutely.
Yorkshire pudding and gravy and potatoes and roast.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite meals right there. Oh, and cauliflower and broccoli with cheese sauce or hollandaise sauce. Like,
yeah,
that's yummy.
I'm partial to salmon.
Yeah.
Almost got caught nicking it one day.
They call that tickling, don't they? Is it where you tickle the fish
Yeah.
and then throw them out the stream? Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to thunder flash.
Eating that is.
Okay, you just lost me. Totally.
Thunder flash is it's a tube with a little bit of explosive in, and you strike it. But you have to pack the bottom with it because it's a hollow tube at the bottom. Then it's got the plastic, or they've got the explosive bit on the top, and it's got a striker. So you have to put a little bit of mud or something in the tube, so to give it a little bit of weight. You strike it, hold it for a couple of seconds, then throw it in the water. There's a big bang, lots of water splashes up, and then all of a sudden the fish come floating to the surface, and you just grab them with a net.
Oh, sure, that's bait.
Well, the only drama then is that if the gamekeeper hears, you're in serious trouble. You got to
I've got to say you'd be a really big time trouble.
But my regiment, we're known as the poachers. So
I used to go scrumping with my friend Tim, and we'd come back with like carrier bags of apples and plums and stuff like that. And my mum would be going, "Where'd you get them from?" And my mate's mum would be giving us black sacks out to go back and get more.
Yeah, and who made pies and jam?
yeah,
Everybody,
there
right?
you go.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Jeez.
Yeah,
we
got caught scrumping.
Policies.
The problem if you get caught scrumping, especially by the old Bill when I was growing up, you'd end up with a sore ear because he'd get you by the ear and drag you home, and
that one usually.
Yeah, and then when you got home, you got a clump to go with it. Caught this young lad scrumping on there. Is he yours? He's my getting you little bleeder clump.
That's how you know when one of the children has been naughty. One ear goes one direction a little more than the other one.
I was very naughty.
You were naughty boy. Oh boy.
Didn't do me no harm. Taught me respect.
Yeah. I was relating this story to somebody the other day about taught me one thing, and what's that? not to get caught in the first place. It didn't go down too well.
I've been chased by a few people over the years, yeah, and I was fast across country when I was young. So.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember here that some of the gardeners would chase the kids away with either a shovel or a rake. So when they caught them, they were ready to dig a hole already. So
No, the gatekeepers out in Norfolk, where I'm from, they load shotgun cartridges up with rock salt.
oh, ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch.
Oh, that's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Frank, I'm sure you have some stories.
Well, not along that line. Not along that line. Never got shot at. Salt,
Never got shot
Go
at.
out shooting moose instead.
the moose. Yeah.
That's serious, that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Them things are over 2 meters tall.
Yeah, there's a freezer full.
I can tell a story about a moose. I was used to drive for a guy in Norway, and I had a wagon and drag, and we used to get in normally on a Sunday night, clear the customs, and this place we went to was a factory, and we drove there sort of early hours in the morning, so it's still pitch black, and it's on a back road, and it's really good back road, and it comes sort of sweeps round some nice bends and that. So you're going full tilt, so 56 mile an hour, and through these back lanes, you've got the big lights on the truck and all the rest of it. And I'm coming down the road, and what's that? Christ, it's a moose! I've hit the brakes, whole thing shuddered to a stop, and I stopped about this far away from this moose. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. And he's looked up at me, blown snot all over my windscreen, and just wandered off. And I've had a coronary.
Yeah.
Lucky you didn't hit it.
God, if I'd have hit it, it would have been in the trailer.
Yeah.
Not quite the same as that, Tim, but went to Morocco at one point over from Gibraltar, hired a landing. We went out for like a drive through the night, not too far from where you were told you were safe to go and stuff. But it turns out that donkeys blend into the road, and they have a habit of looking directly away from you. So when you're doing about 65, 70 mile an hour in a Defender with a set of bull bars on it, and all of a sudden you see your head turn and look at you, you leave a set of stripes down the back of the road and down the back of the underwear at that point, I think.
Oh dear.
They just come out of nowhere. They just sleep in the road, and because they're grey and the asphalt's grey, you just can't see them.
Well, that'd be a load of laundry.
I think the person driving was more sort of, oh crap, I'm going to damage the hire car.
Collision waiver, always get collision waiver, worth every penny.
There's a lot of places, particularly sort of in the Balkans. I mean, you drive down through places like Czechoslovakia, used to be Hungary, that sort of area. They tell you don't drive at night because you always get some donkey cart walking down the middle of the road, and they're lethal. There's no lights on them or anything, and these things are in the road, and you can see the devastation when you're driving down in the daytime. There's like smashed up donkey carts on the side of the road, and a truck or bits all over the place. Yeah, don't drive at night in these countries because it's dangerous.
Oh my gosh.
In Egypt at night, when they drive along through the desert and stuff, they only put the lights on when they go to overtake someone, and they overtake them in pitch blackness and then turn the lights off again.
Crazy.
Same in Lagos, Nigeria as well. Lagos, once they get out of there, they turn the lights off, because I said to the driver, "Why do you turn the lights off?" And he said, "Oh, because it'll flatten the battery." I was like, no, he's got an old lady on a dynamo, it's not going to flatten the battery. Charge it up again. No, it'll flatten it. Okay, you're driving anyway. Seatbelt on.
I don't think we get away with anything like that over here, Frank. Do you think?
No. Jack lighting goes over like a lead balloon.
I mean, there's a thing round here that all the kids ride the bikes at night. No lights, nothing. They're riding on the pavement all over the place. And the thing is, nowadays, I don't know whether you noticed that everybody wears black in the UK, especially at night. And they're riding bikes with no lights on. And where's the old Bill? Nowhere to be seen. But you put some sort of hurty word on a tweet, and they're round knocking on your door as soon as you like.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You put a hurty word on Twitter, and they're at your door.
Right there.
You've upset somebody, have I?
Oh, give me seriously.
Yeah. It's all over the news at the moment.
Are they bored? Are they bored or what?
No, they're not dealing with proper crime.
Oh, wow.
There was something on the news, I think it was yesterday or today, encouraging people because of the cost of living so high over here, and the poor people can't afford to feed themselves. They've now said that it's okay for them to go round and shoplift. And this is from a chief of police. I'll kid you not. But they're very quick at coming round and knocking on your door if you put on some hurty words on Twitter. They'd sooner deal with that sort of crime than proper crime. Worried about upsetting people.
Something wrong over there.
We're not there yet.
Oh,
don't you worry, it'll get there soon enough.
Tim, can I just ask Frank and Jennifer, whatever happened to the end of the truckers' protest? Did you?
Yeah, they took care of it. 2 days.
Wow. I saw in the end they blocked
His Highness, the Prime Minister of Canada, enacted something close to martial law. So then the cops all were able to force tow truck drivers to pull trucks. Before they wouldn't do it because they're all part of the same brotherhood. So they're able to force the tow truck drivers to pull trucks. And of course, the cops all of a sudden decided they had more power than they did before, and they arrested a few and got a few of the head people. One guy's still in jail.
So what they did, long story short, is they broke our Constitution.
Yeah, he wrote up that he broke the Constitution, but he had it in act for about 3 days, and he suddenly rescinded it. But by then, they had taken care of the trucker thing.
Yeah. So, us over here, a lot of us, I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about
I just wondered, I've not seen anything else on YouTube. That was also, I just wondered, obviously, being
it was big all over the world. They made a big deal out of it. And the true part of it is most of it wasn't true. All what the media said, it wasn't true. Because it was basically a peaceful demonstration, but there were certain aspects of it that were not proper. Like keeping your horn all night long. That don't go over very big. But that's one individual, eh? So yeah,
I don't believe what the news networks say anyway. I've learned a long time ago that it's all driven, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's still remnants of it moving around. A couple of the head honchos, the people that were really organizing it and stuff, they're still in court and they're still fighting the battle to stay out of jail. And one of them was his bail was revoked, so he's back in jail. So there was a few people that were organizing this, but they got off on the wrong foot. I think. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know the truth. We're in Alberta. The only thing we know is what the media tells us, and the media only tells us what the government tells them to tell us. Because the government funds all the media. The media all get free money,
Yeah.
They're supported by the government.
So they tried to put it off as a small fringe group, which definitely wasn't the case. And then they tried to say that we were doing illegal things and we were destroying property and this, that, and the other, which wasn't true. I mean, in any large group, somebody's got some really bad feedback happening. And I
Yeah.
don't know who it is, but in any demonstration or any protest of any kind, you're always going to have somebody that takes it in a direction that is not the intent of the group as a whole. And the problem there is then the media picks up on that and has a field day with it. And then everybody's branded with that brush. Just like right now, every Canadian is branded with the same brush as the Prime Minister, which is so not the case. So I think Tim and I, we've had a conversation about this kind of softly already, that just like with Russia and the Ukraine, just because your country's leader is doing something does not make you a party to it. And I think what's happening is that me as a Canadian, I feel like we have a dictator for a leader. And unfortunately, we have been kind of trying to combat the fact that he's destroyed our Constitution and our freedom of rights and all of this. And there's only so much you can do as an individual citizen about that. Like, you hold your own in your own space. And then what happens is the government empowers people like law enforcement to arrest you for standing up for your rights. Okay, so it's a bigger problem, because unfortunately people want to keep their jobs and they want to do what they've been able to do for 25 years. And you can see people feeling like, okay, do I stand up to this or do I feed my family? And it's heinous, the position that they put a lot of people in. There's positions on what people have been told to do with regards to the vaccine as well. So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can go with this, but I think at the end of the day, we're all just still trying to have our freedoms, and they're being taken away.
Yeah. Anyway, talking about taking away, we've gone over time.
It is time to run, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm just going to drop you guys down and I'll end the show. And if you just want to hang on for the...
Thank you for having me on, guys. Pleasure to meet you all.
Very nice.
Hang on for the after show.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
Yeah.
Catch up with you another time.
Yeah, nice talking to you, Tim. We'll talk again.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Right, let's drop them down and I'll finish up and then we'll have a chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
see you, Frank.
Yeah, okay, Jen. Thanks for this. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's another Thirsty Thursday done and dusted. Hope you all come and join us again next week, which next week's going to be a recorded one. So, but a week after we're back live. So if it all works out, we should, fingers crossed, have a show next week that will be pre-recorded for your delectation and delight. So for now, just ask you to subscribe to the channel, like, comments, and all the rest of it. And I'll catch you next week, but properly the week after. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for being there, and good night.